Life consists mostly of dreams, dreams you cannot quite ignore. The dream is who you are, and life goes on and on.
Many people have great visions and dreams, but few of them actually attempt to make them a reality. This is a story about two people who have such a vision and who are prepared to pursue it all the way.
The reason most people will never really pursue their innermost dreams is perhaps that they lack the courage to overcome the enormous obstacles that often stand in their way. This story is about two dreamers for whom courage is not really the issue, but rather the breathtaking challenges involved in making their ideas come true.
Let us take you on our journey, along with Christine and her partner Knut Helga, who are set on creating a spa hotel in a remote desert area within Egypt, where no tourists have previously set foot.
This documentary follows the planning of a very unusual hotel project. Inspired by the ancient temples of the goddess Isis, the hotel will be both a healing center and a spa, placed in a desert oasis.
Yes, I think a lot of people think I'm crazy, but for me it doesn't matter, because I know this is the right place. I'm sure.
What I really want to do is see this project as a structure for people to come in and realize their dream. Like I'm realizing my dream to be a project manager for a really exotic and interesting project like this. And Knut Helge is realizing his dream of designing an original, fabulous building that will uplift people who come to see it.
The dream actually began in a cold fishing town on the west coast of Norway, where the climate and the pace of life is quite different from that of the Sahara Desert in Egypt.
What I like to think of when I think of the center we would like to build in Egypt is it's very welcoming and it's very cozy. It's something that beckons you in terms of feeling secure, feeling close to Mother Nature, you know, being taken care of. And so I don't want to have the feel of not being at the bosom of Mother Nature. This is beautiful and awe-inspiring, but it creates a certain distance because you feel kind of overwhelmed.
In this time I will bring more naturally forms and not this. And this is for it's very powerful, like the church power, and I don't like this power to bring in our center. This is like power from a few people who try to get more power from the old people. We like to every person have their own own power, and that I will create in Egypt.
We had come to Trondheim to see if we somehow wanted to get involved. At this stage, the hotel was very much in the early planning stages.
To his merit, Knut Helge has received a great deal of national attention for the quality homes he builds in Norway. His own house is a shining example of his vision to combine traditional construction methods and natural materials with the latest advances in modern intelligent housing technology.
Although Knut Helge and Kristin both have a great deal of experience in their fields, neither one of them have any experience planning for the sandy, sun-scorched environment where they hope to place their center. You have these domes, and are they all they're all connected, and then there's something in the middle?
Yes, a huge obelisk.
And that the drawing represents?
Yeah, you can see here is formed like this. And this information reception area is in here, and also this top of it like a pyramid. This is made in blue glass. Mm-hmm. So it's all this area is in blue light inside.
The future hotel Knut Helge is designing is completely self-contained and will consist of a number of large dome structures, housing underground pools, private baths, and massage areas divided into separate parts, where one side is for women and the other for men.
And so, it is a secret places. It's two of them. One for the female and one for the male. Mm-hmm. It's the two baths with hot water. And also this is like several private bath with you can lay in oil bath or whatever with massage or something.
Yeah, because these are private rooms, so that you get a bath, you lie there for say 20 minutes to really soak it up, and then we put you on a massage bed and give you a good massage. So everything is very secluded, very quiet. There's nothing going on in there except you having a bath. But then out here, it's for everyone. Every female can go into this particular pool and relax and talk and that sort of thing.
And male on this place.
Yeah.
Kristin intends to work with her newly discovered passion, which is massage. She believes that with deep relaxation and cleansing physical stress from the body, true spiritual experiences are possible. By reclaiming beauty and pleasure in spirituality, Kristin hopes to attract both ordinary working people in need of relaxation and those pursuing a spiritual path to an environment which goes a few steps further than a normal spa.
It's very important that it's segregated, because in that sense you can just walk in here, and it's supposed to be an area where you can walk without your clothes on, so that you really have the feel of your body. It's a very sensual experience to walk around naked. You get used to being naked. You get used to having your body as your outer clothing. And I also think that having the sexes or genders segregated really makes it a much more relaxed environment. You don't have to worry about what you look like because you're going to try to look good for some guy, or the guys don't have to worry about looking good for the women. There's not this tension between the sexes. It's very calm, relaxed in that sense. Mm-hmm.
Our role in this was yet to be defined. We had initially been attracted to the general idea of the project, but at the same time we were a little skeptical to the sketchiness of their grand visions. We laughingly said such elaborate plans will have to consist of more than just dreams. But sometimes dreams do have a way of making the heart speak louder than the mind. What made us finally decide was a sore spot of our own. We had wanted to make a film about something like this for many years, but never had a chance. Now, when an opportunity arose, we were hesitating. Kristin knew exactly what we were going through and shared how she dealt with her insecurities.
When the fear gets really bad, I try to figure out, what am I so afraid of? Until I can release the belief that this is not worth something, until I can release the belief that I need security to survive, until I can release the belief that some things are right to do and some things are not, some things are valuable, some things are not. All these beliefs create these emotions which are really difficult to handle.
These were her final words. Get over your fear and make that film you talked about doing for so long. It's really now or never.
It's hard to say whether we were struck by Kristen's own convictions or just lost in our own dreams. But in less than a week, we were off to Egypt by the seat of our pants.
We had been hesitant to come along on this project for a number of reasons, and one of our major concerns was Kenna, the area where they wanted to build, because in 1997 a terrible assault hit Egypt when a Kenna-based group of Muslim extremists attacked the Hatshepsut temple in Luxor. 80 tourists were shot and killed, hundreds more were wounded.
This was the culmin of over a decade of terrorist attacks in Egypt, and many of the assailants are believed to be in hiding in the desert close to where Kristen and Knut Helga planned to place their spa hotel. We were both intrigued and terrified with their prospects of creating a center which celebrated feminine energies in an area so saturated with hatred towards the West. Ironically, we arrived in Cairo on the dreaded anniversary of September 11th, and whether we wanted to or not, we have been forced to face our fears already in the air. Traveling to a Muslim country exactly a year after the attack did have an effect on us, no matter how much we tried to tell ourselves it did not.
Today, all of Egypt's main tourist sites are protected by the military, and so far, all we had to worry about were simple Egyptians trying to make a living, attacking the tourists with their aggressive sales pitches. At the same time, we were still wondering how this culture so dominated by men would receive a project so contrary to their ideals.
Come on, sir. You sit on the next one. Come on.
I'll be too bumpy. Too bumpy.
Work together. Don't worry. I will know how to use it. Come on. Come on.
That'll be
guys.
too bumpy.
Not too
No,
bumpy.
it's okay.
I walk and I make a video. I know how to use it. Come on.
You know how to make
I know how to use it. The video camera. Come on, you get on. Excuse me. Come on. Not too bumpy. I will make a film from the ground. Come on.
Sit on the camera. Go ahead.
Okay.
Get on.
No problem.
استنى انا لك الكاميرا اخد الكاميرا انا كده. Get on.
مجد.
ماشي حاضر يا عم.
Go ahead, legs is good. هنجيلك هنا يا عم علي. Just second. Give the camera to him. It's a movie. Let it walk. I've come to Egypt in order to talk to the government, make some personal contacts, get some people interested in the project, so I can actually realize this center here in Egypt, because it's the perfect spot. I mean, when I think of Egypt, I think of sensual dancing. I think of the perfumes, the natural oils. The climate is great, so you can always walk around relaxed. And it really has a sense of female energy, I think.
It was vital to reach Luxor the following morning to meet Jamal Hassan, the Egyptian contact who would facilitate important meetings with the governor of Kenna and other officials of the area.
It struck us again and again that for us to have come along on this trip, there had to be something more to this than just pipe dreams. Our concerns were somewhat intensified when Kristen could not hide the fact that she also was nervous of how the governor of Kenna was going to react.
I'm a bit weary. I really have no idea how the government will react to this proposal. I am a bit nervous in terms of how I'm going to present the actual idea. But I think that Egyptians have a great sense of humor, and I think that is something that I might have an opportunity to connect with them on.
How do you feel now? Are you nervous?
No, right now I'm not nervous. I think this has been a really interesting trip on the train so far, because having to just jump on the train and winging it without a ticket and hoping to find seats and just really going for being here this morning. Feels really good to actually have made it.
We had to cross the Nile in a taxi boat in order to meet Jamal Hassan, our Egyptian contact, who operates 2 hotels on the west bank of Luxor. He himself was in the process of building a new hotel and knew what it would take to realize a project of this scale. The first meeting would give Jamal a closer look at their plans. If he believed in the idea, he had promised he would contact the governor of Kenna to set up a meeting for the next morning. We had to catch the governor before he left for his 2-week vacation later the following afternoon, so time was of the essence.
Have you seen any kind of land or something where you want to really put the projects in Kenna?
I couldn't tell you exactly. I have a general feeling, and I know it won't be too far away from Dendera because the sacred lake is there and we need water.
Yeah.
And it's also, I guess, a continuation of the historic healing facility. So the healing waters of Dendera is important to the project. So it won't be too far away, but it probably will be desert area close to some mountains. That's what I see, but I could not tell you exactly where. Not yet.
All access to Kenna requires traveling in military convoys in the presence of armed police. This poses a problem for our transportation right now, and will do so even more when the hotel is built.
I'm grateful for this idea. It's really good, right? It's very good. I have nothing against it, but we have to really talk clear about it. When we have our guest here, what's gonna be? What is the guarantee for that? It's not me building a place and then afterwards the police, they come and say, oh, you are not allowed to get out of the hotel on this time, right? So it has to be a guarantee letters. We have to, it's investments, right? It's money.
Despite Jamal's words of warning, Christine and Knut Helga are still convinced that Kenna is the right area. So the next morning, Jamal arranged for a military escort to take us into Kenna City to meet the governor.
It turned out that Kenna was quite eager to wash away the stamp it had received as a terrorist zone. The governor, Mr. Hadil Labib, claimed that the Egyptian army had thoroughly cleaned up the terrorist network in Kenna, and the city was actually planning for a transformation of a community more accepting of foreign investment. Therefore, to our surprise, he welcomed the spa idea and assigned one of his personal secretaries to oversee our search for potential sites.
Now we had the green light to scout the area, and the search could really begin. At the same time, we couldn't help but wonder what was behind the friendly facade Kenna had put up so far. We still had to be escorted by soldiers everywhere we went, and probably for good reasons. In order to lend the project more official credence, our Egyptian contact Jamal, knowing the Egyptian way of business, had brought an entire entourage of people, with a lawyer, 2 journalists, and also the dean of a local school, who was a personal friend to the governor.
In the refuge to police, city officials had offered the most commercially attractive building lots by the Nile. However, despite the river view, this was not what Christine and Knut Helge had in mind at all.
What we're really looking for is something close to the temple and near the mountains. That's the mountains right there. It doesn't need to be close to the Nile. That's not important. We want the mountains, the desert, and the temple. That's what we need.
That's important.
And tell them it's probably going to be an area that's considered uninteresting from any other point of view. Yes, the feeling is so important. And we know that this is not it.
Not the area.
Right. It will be a perfect spot for other things that they have in mind, but not this.
I know what you mean.
There's so many things.
I feel the same.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I know.
So it might not be available at this moment, but I think that given a little bit of time, we'll make something else available that's more what we all agree is it.
For a while, it seemed we had gotten stuck. All the areas Christine and Knut Helga were interested in were not under the governor's jurisdiction or were assigned for agriculture.
I told him it could be a little place in the mountain which is not needed, right? And he's saying it's impossible, it's not belong to us.
Can we just go and find what the feeling is, and then we can talk how to, what we do? We just need to know what feels right, and then we deal with the practical side.
He cannot take us down.
Okay.
القرية دي نظام دخلت مع تعاقد مواطن حر انت في
tell
ارض
him
ملك.
that, he's been very kind in showing us what's available.
ليس المشي رايح على الحتة اللي كنا وصلنا منها كبر الحديد. كبر الحديد اللي شفناه ده.
Kristen was ready to go back to Luxor again when a city official thought of a mountainous area called Safaga on the other side of the Nile.
Right.
To the temple, right?
Yep.
And we like to see this area of Safaga or in the desert.
It's 12 kilometers on the other side.
حوالي كم كيلو من هنا؟ Around 10 kilometers.
On the other side of the river.
Yeah.
أيوه. البر الشرقي من النيل.
See what's available. I know there is not, but we just want to see.
Sure.
Yeah?
Yes, we'd like to.
Okay. خلينا نشوفها. عليك.
إيه يا عم جمال صوتي. ها؟
باجي. يلا يا عم. بس مدام كتير مقتنع بالأرض.
The search continued all day, and although we went further and further out into the desert, Christine and Knut Helge were still somehow not pleased.
No speak man.
It wasn't until the end of the day, when the city officials had almost given up on us, that Christine had a breakthrough in the form of a very emotional experience.
هناك برضه عندكم ودي
Jag får nog så in i helsike så vondt i solarplexus. Skikkelig vanvittig. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, oi, oi.
Kan du visa vart det är?
Akkurat her får jeg veldig vondt.
Varför då?
Nei, jeg vet ikke. Det bare kjennes veldig, veldig intenst akkurat nå.
Är det här rätt?
Det er en grunn til at jeg reagerer, det er det. Det er ikke nøytralt, for å si det sånn. Og det er en veldig sånn anspenthet og mye forbundet med frykt her, men det er masse som skjer her nå.
The pain Kristen felt in her solar plexus gave her a distinct feeling that this could be it, although she had only seen the area from a distance. The following day, we could not return to Kenna because there was no escort to take us. Instead, we went to visit the Hatshepsut temple, and this again brought up questions of safety for the hotel.
A few years ago, I think it was about 5 or 6 years back, a lot of Americans were actually shot and killed near the Hatshepsut temple, not far from here, and the terrorists who did the deed, they lived or had their base in Kenna. And so a lot of people started to connect Kenna with terrorism. And also the security there is very, very, very strong. That's why we're delayed, is because Jamal, our Egyptian hotel manager here, is having trouble getting enough policemen to go out with us.
Kristen has the philosophy that in order to experience deep healing, a person needs to face his or her deepest fears. This is one reason she is not afraid to put the hotel in a possible danger zone. Another is the idea that a healing spa could in some way have a softening effect on the tension in the area.
Thanks.
You have to suck it in more.
You ever get second thoughts
Second thoughts?
as to the placement?
No. Oh, no. I have no second thoughts about the placement. I feel very strongly about the place being the absolute right place to be. The whole point of this is that it is challenging. There are unknowns. A lot of emotions come up, and that's what's exciting about this. Adventure does not come through security and knowing that everything is predictable. It's doing the unknown.
But is it about adventure or is it about healing? I hear two different things here.
I don't see the difference between the two. I think being adventurous and meeting fear, uncovering the unknown, is what healing is all about.
Do you think that this can bring healing to the area as well? I mean, do you really believe that?
Yes. And again, I think that through my own process of bringing a center to Kenna and pulling people into the project that also will go through the process of meeting their own fears, I think that is in itself healing. And I think my own healing will be just a small part of it, but that's what I'm interested in. And I can always create a project that will help other people, but in the end it's important for me in terms of what do I experience from this. So if I experience healing, I think that's the best way for everybody else to experience it.
This was an important day. Jamal had managed to find enough army escort to go deeper into the desert and actually get a closer look at areas which were now available.
ما حدش يصيب فيه يعني؟
ولا حاجه حد انصابوا بس ما عادش
والله طب الحمد لله. امال الكابينه المدعوكه دي؟
ايوه فيها السواق بتاعها الزنق بس جابوا مكنه اللحام قصوا الحديد وطلعوه تعور بس يعني ما
الحمد لله مصطفى.
The city geologists pointed out some potential problems and were much more concerned than Kristen and Knut Helga about both the floods and the volcanic activities in the area.
Did that happen yesterday or today?
امبارح
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. Well, it's good, lucky that nobody died.
اسبوع ضلع معدين الضروف في المطار. Too much water from mountains from Red Sea down.
We'll see, we're looking for much water.
Much water,
need-
it's danger. Maybe raining, too much raining.
It's flooding.
West here, 10 kilometer is very dangerous for earthquakes from the mountain and the road and the another side.
We know.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, هم مش
It's okay.
It's okay.
Also, it's okay.
Of course.
نعم.
Not worry about that.
The volcanic activities were confirmed by the fact that we found water springing up from the ground by the side of the road.
Which signifies that this is actually the area we might be looking for, because we do want a natural spring to use for our center. We need tons of water, and having it this close to the surface really shows that this area might have potential. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
The soldiers who were guarding us during our search did not let us out of sight, even for a second. we weren't quite sure whether to feel safe or threatened by their presence. And once again, we felt the need to confront Kristen on the issue of safety.
Experience it too.
How can you heal a machine gun? Or how can you heal if one of your clients gets shot? That's the issue. One of the issues.
Very good question. And this is a matter of life or death, but I don't define physical death as the worst possible death. I think being confined by fear and not meeting fear and letting that paralyze your life is the real death we need to fear. We know that the mountains over here is what we're looking for, and it's going to be on either side. We think we've found the perfect site on this side, and we saw it from the top of the hill, and it's also in a volcanic area, which doesn't bother us. In fact, I think that will be an asset. There's a lot of energy here, and I think that it would be, in terms of the location, just before the mountains, very nice feeling, large enough, very secluded, and there's going to be a lot of water available and the type of water we're looking for, so I think it's exactly what we're looking for. But we do need a jeep or some vehicle to get us in there.
They actually had to find an all-terrain vehicle before they could even set foot on the site. But knowing where they were going brought a great sense of victory, and that afternoon we all celebrated.
During the dinner, we got an idea of what the project was going to cost. The permits and the paperwork alone would amount to around $60,000 US. Not to mention other costs, such as the land, the building, and blasting a road to get there. But Kristen and Knut Helga seemed only pleased that things were finally starting to materialize.
Take it off. Yeah, but now you take it off. No, I'm not. There's many travel agents, right?
Later, Kristen wanted to take us to the only pool in town, in one of Luxor's most exclusive hotels. She got around the fact that we weren't guests of the hotel by telling the manager we needed the pool to film a scene for a commercial about Egypt.
What's Carter's first name?
Is it Howard Carter?
Howard Carter?
I think.
Carter.
Howard Carter.
Yeah,
All set? All right.
Okay.
This is one of the most beautiful spots in Luxor. The hotel was built, and both kings, queens, and Carter has lived here when excavating the tomb of Tutankhamun. And feeling this nice water, looking at these beautiful palm trees, having just a really nice sensual experience in the heat, it is awesome. And I think that you just might want to check this place out or something like it. Tally ho, see you soon. Did you get it? Did you want? Can you use the whole thing, or?
We'll put it together.
All right.
Okay, well wait.
Do you want something else, or?
Well, you know, this doesn't
Should we talk
sort of
a little
penetrate the process,
Yeah.
does it?
Penetrate what process?
Should we talk a little bit about maybe today, how things went today?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This more
Now that there's money in the project, remember we had talked about the no money, trying to do this project possibly with the no money
Energy.
idea. And how do you feel about it now?
much better.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of things happens very fast, and then it's a good feeling. Yeah. So this spot today we had to find this land, and then that's a good to we have the land. Don't worry for this money now.
You're not
I
concerned?
don't know. But yeah.
How much is it going to cost just to get the process started?
We talked to Gamal today, and he think about 500-600 Norwegian crown. 1,000. Yeah.
It's about $50,000.
Yeah.
Something.
And
Like
what's that for? Is it for paperwork or?
It's for paperwork, yeah, not for the land. It's only paperwork. The first step in the process.
But isn't then no money energy shot now? Or?
Is that yeah?
Yeah, but I think for the first part, I don't worry. But when there's building starting, that's money running very fast. So, but I think we have we need to have some space to organize these things, and then I think we must spend a lot of money now.
Swim down.
Go ahead. Now we can shoot you. That's great.
The celebration continued all evening, and Kristen and Knut Helga's spirits were soaring. But that night, both Kristen and Knut Helga had a dream, which disturbed them, about the direction the project was about to take.
Well, I just woke up this morning and I was thinking, in fact, I didn't sleep very well. I woke up in the middle of the night, kind of wondering where I was. So I had a very restless night, and that is because I didn't find peace in my mind. I think it has to do with this issue. And so I started thinking about why is it so expensive to go through this process of getting the papers? I mean, it should be a whiz.
Yesterday, when we was at the pool, and Björn asked me, "Wow, we want to pay a lot of money for these things," and then I started to think, "Wow, we are on the wrong track." So I started to think, and tonight, last night, I have a dream. I saw one water
drop
coming to the water, and then they create like rings in the water. So then this told me, wow, what kind of rings do we want to make in Egypt?
Nevertheless, the ball was set in motion, and everything was arranged for a jeep to take us into the roadless desert leading to the site. Regardless of our concerns, we also got quite excited, for in many ways we had become just as swept away by this idea as Kristen and Knut Helge.
How are you feeling now when you're finally getting close to it?
It's really exciting, and I can't wait to see the area up close. And it's a big thrill to be in the middle of the desert in a jeep, slowly moving towards a spot which we saw from far away. So that should be interesting.
Knut Helge, how are you feeling now when you're getting so close?
Wow, it's a nice feeling and something is going on. And it's nice to see it's vegetation here, so it must be water and all these things. And also I like this mountain has a plateau, so it's nice to build up because you can see this building on the top of the plateau. And then we have this.
Thank you. All right, I don't know how you do it.
The first stop was the saltwater well of Benazir.
Yeah, you add a little soil, a little bit of water, and boom, you'll have a beautiful park, I think. And yeah, you can grow your own fruit, some vegetables and just pick it the same day. You know, the cook can go out and say, I want that tomato. And then you have a packet of sun energy straight away.
It was a natural oasis which had been used by the Bedouins for centuries, and we rested while tasting some of Benazir's famous dates.
بس هو ده مبني مش كده.
وديك تشوف البير الاثري لطريق قبط القصير.
فين ده؟
طريق قبط القصير بعد الفواكه.
أثري.
What's the fruits?
It's good. Date.
Are they dry?
Dry?
Or they good?
That's good. You can eat. It's good taste.
okay?
Nobody eats, just a bear.
What is it?
These are good.
Taste from the desert. What is it?
Very good. I
That's
love
the
it.
fruit. Daddle.
Dates.
Dates. Okay.
Yeah,
Daddle in Norwegian.
That's
great.
Helga, did you expect to find a palm tree here in the middle?
No, it's like a dream. So that's really nice to see.
Why not be right here where there is a well?
A couple of reasons. Number one, we want to get closer to the mountains. There's this really nice secure feeling of having the mountains right in the back of you, sort of nestled right next to Mother Earth. The second reason is you want to get high up because they do have flash floods here. So we don't want to risk having water deluge the center. So you want to be high up, and you also get a really nice view of the area. At the same time, any sort of traffic coming to the center can be down below. Again, preserving the feeling of being in the middle of the wilderness without traffic, without any signs of civilization.
Yeah, a lot of water here. We can swimming.
Not quite,
Yeah.
but possible.
Is it dried up or?
It's dried up. But there is water under.
Yeah, there's water deeper.
يعني هو تردم قول له تردم.
So how do you guys feel? Here you are, like
Great, but really impatient to go see more, you know. We really want to find the site and draw it on the map and get it.
Yeah. We'll see it.
okay.
Let's go.
Although the well of Benazir was dried out for the season, seeing that there was actually life out here had given us great hope. The vision of creating an artificial oasis seemed more believable. But as we drove away from the oasis, the landscape became increasingly barren. We knew for sure there would be salt water, but as for fresh drinking water, this was still questionable.
There's no fresh water there.
Yes,
Maybe.
لا لا مالح صوت.
No.
This is salty, but the Bedouins use
No,
it
but
for...
maybe suitable.
يعني so.
Okay,
Must
but it's...
analyze this.
Okay.
Another there.
Okay. Yeah, can we go here? We need to see where we are.
We'll stop with this lady.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't entirely easy to find the area they had seen from a distance, but they were determined to get there, as they knew in their guts this was it.
Having consulted the maps a few times, they finally pinpointed the actual site. The jeeps could go no further, and those of us who still could would have to walk the final rocky stretch.
The heat and the sun were unbelievably intense, with temperatures approaching 50 degrees Celsius. Even the soldiers, who had followed us faithfully up to that point, decided it was best to remain by the car.
While most of us were completely exhausted from heat and traveling, Kristen and Knut Helge immediately dashed up the mountain.
So just like Moses, who didn't get to go into the promised land, we had to wait by the foot of the mountain for Kristen and Knut Helge to return.
Although we were happy for them, the heat and the sand had probably gotten the best of us, and it took all the energy we had left to continue filming.
What are they doing out there now? Do you know?
I think they're scouting out the area, maybe dousing for water, feeling it out, just seeing if this is what they want. Oh my God, Knut Helge is way up on the mountain. He had to go and get an overview. God, gotta hand it to them. It'd be interesting. Who would they draw here? Other crazy people, maybe.
We're the first suckers.
Yeah. Here we are. I don't think I'm gonna go all the way out there, are you? Or should you wanna go up to where they are?
I don't have any water with me.
I know. I'm feeling like I need to go back. A little short walk. Yeah, you could die out here. Wouldn't take much.
Oh, I'm definitely going up to where Christine is, but I don't think I'm going
To where
on top of them. No.
I wonder if she's
That's
going
where
up
I
there.
draw the line. How do you feel about what they're doing now?
I think they're crazy. It's unreal. I don't know how they're gonna get people out here.
It's hit you too, huh?
Oh yeah, it's like here they are in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful area, but God.
It's a stone desert!
What can you do? It's a stone desert, yeah. And not a road or anything in sight.
You know, it hasn't hit me until now that they're actually nuts. They actually lost it.
40 days and 40 nights in the desert. This is the desert. Ay, ay, ay. Who would have
The
thought?
funny thing is that if I ever believed in this, now, when they're here, at this moment, this is when my faith fails. This is when I realize I don't believe in this. This won't work.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they can work or not. I think there are lots of challenges that they're going to have to face here. Now, who knows? I mean, it's either going to take a lot of money to do what they want, or I don't know. Or they're going to have to maybe find another place, because this is really out there. But you never know. People are crazy. They do crazy things.
£4 million that will barely build on the road.
When they eventually came down from the mountain plateau, they were so excited they seemed oblivious to the heat.
Hey! Hey guys!
Hi. So?
Wow. First.
Må bare fortelle på norsk, altså.
Ja.
Jeg gikk opp den her glenna, som jeg kaller det da. Og der tar du toppa, eller?
Ja.
Og der var det så harde steinarter. Det er akkurat som å gå i en sånn på kjøkkenet. Hvis du har knust masse sånn tallerkener, så går du opp i en sånn klirr, klirr. Så det betyr at det er veldig sterke krefter her, da. Så kommer jeg opp på et sånt bittelite platå, og så kommer jeg liksom opp på det hovedplatået. Det er et fantastisk utsikt her, altså. Det er ubeskrivelig. Ja, det er helt utrolig. Og den stillheten, den varmen, og det utsikta. Og så i tillegg er det et fantastisk tomt som liksom akkurat passer til senteret.
So is this it? This is the spot?
No. It's up there.
Up there?
Yeah. It's
Oh
a
my
plateau.
God. Wow. How are you guys get people up there?
Just walking.
Walking?
Well,
Wow.
the parking spot would be here, right?
I'm not sure, yeah, maybe someplace.
And then you walk up to it.
Så fant jeg en kjempefin stein.
What's that?
It's a power stone.
Oh, did you find it up there?
Yeah.
Kristen is convinced there is only a thin crust of earth separating us from a large underground source of water.
I'm looking for water, and see, it's going out. All of this is water underneath here. And I'll keep going, and I have to go about 100 yards at least, and it's still going to be like this. And my theory is that there's a underground lake here, so it seems like we have some water. And I don't think it's that deep, but you know, something like 20 to 40 meters, no more, something like that. And that's not very deep, but the rock here is extremely hard. This is fresh water. Very good fresh water.
Although there is a long way between a rock and a hard place, having a strong commitment to one's dreams can sometimes move mountains.
Whether Kristen's and Knut Helge's dream is possible is not for us to judge. But one thing is for sure, their commitment has not wavered. And as far as the terrorist threat is concerned, well, we don't really know. But it did turn out that the soldiers' guns were not even loaded.